everyone's upset. Like these 10 cities are
Come
thrilled,
here,
but
come here.
everyone else is upset. Like, why don't you come to my city?
Joel, it is wonderful to see you again and very exciting with all that's coming up this kind of Christmas season. So, just to kind of give people a bit of a background, you've got live performance here in the UK. So, we're so excited that you're coming back to the United Kingdom. I know lots of people have got a bit of a, you know, got that vibe. But it's not just for people that can come and access the live performance. Can you tell us a little bit more about people that perhaps can't get a ticket?
Well, first of all, lovely to see you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
From Nashville, Tennessee in the States, all the way across the pond to you. Uh, we have never played um, a For King and Country show in the UK. We've done festivals and that sort of thing. So this is pretty historic for us. And the fact that we're doing it, at the O2 Indigo is just kind of you pinch yourself moment. But as if you are familiar with the venue, it's pretty small, and so we're doing two shows. The first one's sold out, and the second one I think is to a large degree sold out as well. And therein lies the problem with For King and Country and Christmas tours, because every year, even in the States, we announce, we're going to go on tour, but the season's so short that we can only go to about 10 cities before the time it's over. And so you end up having Canada, the UK, Australia, everyone's upset. Like these 10 cities are
Come
thrilled,
here,
but
come here.
everyone else is upset. Like, why don't you come to my city? And so we had a bit of forethought last year, and I'm very proud of us. We took the film crew from our movie Unsung Hero with Lionsgate, and we put them in the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. And the short version is we captured an up close and personal sonic and cinematic concert experience called A Drummer Boy Christmas Live. My wife turned to me a couple of days ago after we watched the screening, and she said, "Joel, I think I like this better than your live shows." So it's really special, and we can't wait not only to come and play those shows for 3,000, 4,000 folks, but then for it to be in cinemas across the UK in just, my goodness, less than a month.
The greatest news that this world has ever known.
Wow. Well, I watched the screener last week and I just started rewatching it again. And it really does engage you because it brings more than just a performance. I love it because I was in a band, but you've got this richness that you bring through the themes in the music and the songs. But before I ask you about that, because I think that's really key, on a practical level, you were just talking about the Indigo O2. I have filmed artists there and been behind the scenes, back in the change room, all those things. And it is a very cozy venue in some respects. But your performance, your Drummer Boy Live, has got an amazing set. You've got all this kind of, not just the cinematic experience of filming it, but a very practical thing as well. I don't want to give any spoilers. How do you kind of adjust that, or do you replicate that in these kind of different shape venues?
Yeah, one thing that's really nice about this year is, and also I'll say part and parcel. Part of the reason it was important to capture last year is last year was the final Drummer Boy Christmas arena tour for the future. We go into these basketball arenas in the United States, and as you'll see on the cinematic concert film, you can levitate, 40, 50 feet in the air, and it's just the scope and the scale. It's massive. It's tens of thousands of people. What we're really excited about this year, and we've just finished up rehearsals actually, is we're going to Nashville for a residency, New York, Los Angeles, and London. And we sort of shifted gears. We wanted to actually feel more theater than, because you've already got the cinematic concert experience, you know what that is. We wanted to give people actually this sort of theater type. We've reconfigured the stage, and it just it almost feels like a Beatles show as far as just the way this platforms. It's very circular and simple, and kind of get back to what does it look like to without sort of the levitating and the flying, and how can you just present this show in its beautiful, most raw form for these residencies. And so it's sort of new for us to give. No one will have seen the show in this sort of way before, and I like it because you kind of got both. And if you want the big bombastic arena thing, you can go to the cinemas and you can see it there. And if you want this sort of Indigo O2 sort of can see everyone in the audience, we're right there. That's the charm of it, you know. It's not big LED screens and platforms flying. It's the fact that we're in this, like you said, cozy environment, and we're going to get to share the Christmas story together.
It's very exciting, and I think it's more than just a performance. And I love that about you and Luke, that you bring something with For King and Country that is a story. It's the heart, the message. And you begin the opening, you know, with Drummer Boy. That's the name of your live performance. But why Drummer Boy? Can you tell me the kind of story behind that?
That song, what a great gift. One of the great gifts and hallmarks of our time as a band. So we have to go back to about 10 years ago when we started, Luke and I, as a duo. And we were so excited that we could release music and that we could tour that we, that year, without a Christmas single or a Christmas album, we said, you know what, we're going to do a Christmas tour. We're going to load up in a 15-passenger van and a trailer. Courtney, Luke's wife, was 6 months pregnant with their first child, and she ran the lights. And we're going to go crisscross the United States, and we're going to play Christmas songs. So we shoved ourselves in Nashville, Tennessee, into this little factory for 2 days, and came up with these renditions. One of them was The Little Drummer Boy. And for us, we thought we just did the most obvious thing. This is a song about a boy playing a drum, and we, as For King Country, put a load of drums on this song. You know, Bing Crosby didn't do it, Frank Sinatra didn't do it, and from that day to this, the song not only has sort of followed us around to the point that we played at almost every show that we do, but it's also, because it came at such a pivotal point creatively for the band, where we were really just still discovering ourselves, it has almost helped shape sonically who we are, rhythmically who we are, wardrobe, how we present, and so it not only is the sentiment of the song really beautiful, that this boy is basically going and offering his gift to baby Jesus in playing a drum, which, by the way, is very impractical, because baby Jesus needs to be sleeping and does not need to be disturbed by really, you know, loud sounds and frightening sounds. But conceptually, this idea of this boy bringing his gift to Jesus and sort of offering it, I think Luke and I both got we felt we felt very seen by the song. That we could offer this gift to God and to Jesus, and that he would smile at us for playing our drums for him.
I love that.
Yeah.
You can really feel that the resonance through the entire film is with all of the songs, and where you've put them together really does take you on that journey, I think, of presenting your heart before God, which is beautiful. But I do know you also talk about Christmas. It's very different for where you come from to where we are, and without, again, going into any spoilers. But what is Christmas for Joel Smallbone? What is it like for you?
Well, you got to understand that, you know, when we grew up as kids, we were in Australia, and Australia's the Southern Hemisphere. And so there's an oxymoron there, because all the seasons are flipped. And so it's in the summer. We don't have chimneys. It's not cold. You know, we're having a barbecue on the beach at Christmas. And yet we've adopted all of your Northern Hemisphere songs. So it was just very confusing for a young boy. But some of my favorite traditions were, instead, because we don't have chimneys, instead of putting the stockings, you know, on the mantle of the chimney, or the fireplace, we would actually put them on the end of our bed. We'd put like a decorated pillowcase or even a trash bag, with, we'd paint it or whatnot, and we'd put it at the end of our bed. And then some point in the night, Santa Claus would come in, and I don't understand how we never woke up, but Santa Claus would come in and he would fill it up with gifts. There was one particular year where we'd actually moved to the States. And by the way, when we got to America, our first Christmas, we had nothing financially, and a first grade school class partnered with Santa Claus, and we had more gifts that year than ever, and it was just really magical. And it snowed the first Christmas we were here, which was also magical. But a year or two after we'd arrived, Luke had started getting into playing drums, speaking of the little drummer boy, and he really wanted a drum kit that year. And he went to sleep and he woke up all excited and looked at the end of his bed in the morning, and it was his stocking was empty. And me as an older brother, I thought, well, this is great. He's just been a very naughty boy this year, so he didn't get any gifts. But he picked it up and he shook it out, and out fell 2 drumsticks. And he ran downstairs, and there was this Yamaha red maple custom drum kit.
Wow.
And the little drummer boy officially somehow was born.
The conceptual moment then, a little drummer boy.
We didn't know it at the time, but maybe you're right.
And that's a great little plug for Unsung Hero as well, because it is an amazing story of how God provided. Sometimes we think we look to Santa Claus or Father Christmas, but actually we see God's provision in such miraculous ways. And I think you're a testimony of that. Last final minute.
I want everyone to support this platform, plug into what they're doing, because they are phenomenal.
Well, what would you like those that come on to the Indigo or that watch the film to take from it?
I love the Christmas season, and I don't think we just every year. For me personally, I don't want the Christmas season. I need the Christmas season. I need to be reminded of this incredible self-sacrificial love, or this radiant, sort of ridiculous joy, or this aspiration for peace. These are the hallmarks of what we should be aspiring to as humanity. And the fact that every 365 days, as we sort of wind down the year, we're sort of faced full force with these concepts once again, and giving gifts, and even, what Jesus represents with the redemption of mankind.
He reconnected us to heaven, and in turn brought heaven down to earth.
That we're faced with that every Christmas. I just think it's so important, and I hope people take different things away from the concept. I hope they're entertained. I hope they're wildly entertained. I hope they feel all the feels of the Christmas spirit. I hope they love, I hope we play your favorite Christmas song. But I also, and more so, hope that people leave going, my goodness, there is great love, and there is great joy, and there is great peace. And in a world that can often seem like it's spinning out of control, maybe this Christmas and beyond, I can recognize and realize and embrace these great hallmarks of being human, and that it will shift the way we see ourselves and others, and the way we see God. So I know that's a lot to put on a live concert or a concert film, but that's our hope with this Christmas film. Yeah.
There's so much in it. I think lots of people are going to glean so much from it on their individual journeys. But Joel, it's a pleasure to talk to you again today. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you at the Indigo.
Yes.
Yes, I will be there. God bless.
You too.
Me and my drum.